Now, Domfase.
Yes.
A couple of days ago, we saw videos of military men.
Yes.
Being, I don't even want to use attacked, brutalized.
No, brutalized.
I've not seen anything like that since
they were brutalized,
the Major Mahama incident. And I was asking myself, what exactly could push people to get to a point where they feel the need to attack military men? And I think what those guys did, the people of that community did, is wrong. We condemn it, but we also have to understand what exactly is going on beyond the military men being attacked, what drove them, and all these land guard issues. We really need to talk about it.
Well, I mean, we definitely do need to talk about it. I think that the underlying currents, have been going on for some time.
Yeah.
The whole issue of feeling disenfranchised, feeling powerless, and then suddenly there's a mob situation. Yeah. You see a representative of authority that you can finally vent your spleen, and those are the kind of things that trigger that kind of behavior.
Well, our colleague Ni Ama was there yesterday, so he's joined us to tell us exactly what's going on in that town and what he observed while he was there. Good morning.
Good morning, Jifa.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Tell us a bit about what's going on with this situation.
Well, going into the community yesterday was surprising, to say the least. There's particularly nobody there in Domefase, and it's sad. Even before we got into the community, we saw people trooping out, women, children, carrying their tiny backpacks and sacks of whatever they could grab, like refugees fleeing their country. And so even before we entered, we knew what we were about to see. And boy, were we surprised when we entered. There was absolutely no one. As we drove into the community, there was even a fuel station on the road, and there was nobody there, no attendants. The shop inside was closed. So we were wondering, is this really the situation here? So we just went ahead and we found that the military had camped on a section of the road, about 10 to 12 of them. And so we approached them and we introduced ourselves. We told them that this is why we are here. How long have they been here? They say they've been there since the day before. They want to just monitor the situation. But as we entered into the community itself, we realized that there were some women and men still, some women and children rather, still in the community, but they're usually old women and very, very young children.
So it felt like a war zone.
It really felt like a war zone. There was nobody
Well,
around.
There's a report on exactly what happened, so we'll take a look at it and then continue the conversation with you. Let's take a look at that report.
So the Domfase community is now a ghost town. This is as a result of a clash that occurred here on Tuesday between some residents and some military personnel. Now, this whole clash came about as a result of a dispute over the rightful ownership of a piece of land between some traditional leaders in Ga and some traditional leaders in the eastern region. And so today on the City Newsroom, we are here to find out what has become of the community and what updates we can also gather from here. My name is Freme Dunyame, and this is the City Newsroom. Right, so getting to the community, there seemed to be some heavy military presence, and on our way, we actually saw some residents leaving this community to the next village, that is Papase. This is Domfase. Now, there seem to be just a few people left here, the elderly and some children. I have a woman here. Inti Enra, asimnisi anawa.
Mi patai.
Inti mam bome denisi.
Oh, ye sure say umu yembi timbi wo your school nim.
School bay.
Domfase school nim. Nanso ye dia igbefune ye nimu meeting ba umu ba ye. Nanso e ho na ye hu say anwumrem to say 3 o'clock ma. Arikota bia be se wona soldier for sisi fem. E botuo. Ente ho na botuo na ye gina edimreka ekorura dem na kromo ha boys nimu nyina adwane ye. Enti fitianu na besi na nyina ye hu toy wo kromo ha. Ni police fo nam ewura ye dan mu. Umu biebie ye dan we hwehwe mu.
Police for na soldier for.
Soldier for mu biebie ye dan mu hwehwe ye dan nim. Bia wo mpa so na mo ko hwehwe se bia wo ba na ukunu e wo dan nim ana. Enti sa na asem ni ko si ye.
No. What is it? Or my ayonkophobia? Then, of course.
Umuchi boys, maybe you move boo. Yeah, you're more training, Susu.
Training.
Yeah, Dimrika. Our park in Nisu.
Okay. No, the Bena Umbeko, soldier phone.
Yeah, they ain't too many made down Mubeko.
This is the Manche Way. That is the palace of Obum. And there's no human being here. I'm not seeing anybody. I mean, unusual of a palace, when you come here, you're supposed to find people. In fact, just walking in, you're supposed to be met with people who probably would ask you your mission, but there's nobody here. So I'm just going to try my luck, knock on doors and see if probably there's a woman or there's a child in there somewhere. Right, so there's nobody here. The door is locked. Let me try another door. Also, this one is also locked because you can already see the nail suggesting that there's nobody here. So this is the current state at the palace. Very unusual. There's nobody here. It appears that people have actually run from the community for fear of their lives. I mean, there's huge military presence here, and where the military is directly opposite the palace, and so it's understandable to not find people in here. The place is just abandoned, deserted. Not even a fly can be seen here. Right, so after leaving Domfase to visit Obum, we are back here. Now, it's important to note that when we got to Obum, there was heavy military presence. Over 100 military men were stationed there. They had rounded up some women and children, but we were strictly told not to film anything. In fact, the little we were able to film was deleted. Yes, it was deleted, and so we are unable to bring you pictorial evidence of what we saw, but a lot of women and children were just rounded up, seated on the floor, the bare ground, and with information that we picked from Obum indicates that according to the military, the women know where their husbands are or their brothers are, and it is the men they are really looking for, not the women. And so they are keeping them until they get any information from them as to where the men could probably be. So we are back here at Domfase. Now, Domfase is predominantly two ethnic groups. So one half of the community is predominantly Evers and the other side is Gas. There's just a road separating the two areas. But on the side of the Gas, there's no human being. In fact, if you come to Domfase currently, it might be very difficult to even get a soul to ask anything. Let's go around and see how the place has been abandoned. The level, now it appears that people left in a rush. Okay, so this is some cauldron, just leftovers with water inside, and you see chairs. It appears cooking was probably even in session, or they had just finished eating and people had just abandoned every chore they were attending to and have left. Right, so you see saucepans here filled with water, and from the look of things, it doesn't look like they are coming back anytime soon. Okay, so there is another earthenware here. Okay, so this is it. No activity. That is somebody's banku over there. Yeah, so you can tell that nothing really is going on here. There are no human beings here. Ouch. Whoosh. Just trying my luck to see if I could get somebody in here. Ooh, so I go. Right, so that door is not locked. Could it be that whoever it is just ran off without even locking their doors? I go. Okay. I go. All right, so there's no one in here. But the door is not even locked. Well, so that should tell you that people just fled their homes, to find a place to hide or to stay safe. Right, so let's look around. You see chairs turned upside down and firewood left all over. We'll see. Oh, and that, wow. So this is it. We are still here at Domfase. So it looks like whoever this motorbike belongs to had to just abandon it and run off. So you can see a helmet right there. And of course, a motorbike that has also been abandoned. We don't know who this is for. In fact, there's not a single soul to even ask any question. This is the current state of Domfase. Right, so this is the residence of one of the opinion leaders. Now, as you can clearly see, the room has been vandalized. I mean, things have just been turned upside down, windows broken. The whole place is in a mess. And this is the current situation at Domfase. So per the stories and the narration that we've had from some of the residents, the military personnel was here yesterday and they had some soldiers coming around searching for men in the community. They entered people's rooms in search of men who probably they believe are the ones who engaged them in a clash yesterday over the disputed land. And so you can see right here in your shot a room that has really been vandalized. You can see a royal chair indicating that this is the home or the room of a traditional leader. Now you can see TVs broken. You can see the whole place is in a mess. I mean, electrical sockets out, cables hanging, louver blades broken, and things just turned upside down.
So that's Domfase there, and that report was by our colleague Femir Dunyame. Now, it feels as though they are at a war. I mean, we see this. The last time I saw this probably Rwandan genocide when people were leaving because they were going through a genocide. How was that experience like for you?
If I haven't seen anything like this, just like you, I've just been seeing such things in movies, reading about them in books, but never did I think that I would get to witness such a deserted community, a once vibrant community, many settlers doing menial jobs, selling along the roads, and nobody there. However, even the bigger chunk of the military deployment was in the neighboring community, that is Obom.
Okay.
We heard that there were so many of them there, so we decided to move from Domfase to Obom, which is just about 10 to 15 minutes drive, because we understood that the military had also gone searching for the men in the adjoining communities, and boy did we find many military personnel in Obom, about 200 of them.
Wow.
What were they doing there? I mean, did the Ghana military force ask them to go there on an operation? What exactly did they say?
It definitely looked sanctioned because there were commanders around. They came in there was a big bus. There were like 5 to 6 other military vehicles, and they were many. And it was at the Obom Health Facility, and right next to it there's a huge park, and that's where they had assembled or rounded up some of the people that they had picked up, about 50 of them. About 40 or 35 of them were women and a few men, and they were seated on the ground of that park. And that's where they had just rounded them up. They were not giving us any information. We approached them. Would they speak to us? They say, no, can we take any pictures? They say, no. They just said that whatever they are doing would not be understood by civilians, and so they do not want to hand out any information.
What did the women and children say?
The women and children said that a day before, or since the evening of the incident, that was on Tuesday, the military that came around always told them that they are looking for the men. They're looking for the men, and they're not looking for them. And so they should, so they would knock on your door, ask to enter, to come and find out if there's any man in there. If there's a man in there, they'll pick up the man and take the man away. If you're a man and you are seen in the community, you could be stopped, attacked, beaten, and then be sent away, unless you have a proper form of identification. We spoke to a teacher who said that it was because of his teacher's ID, and he also works with the NIA, and that's how come he was left off the hook. At the hospital, the administrator told us that some of his staff were picked up, but for the fact that they had a staff ID card, they would have also been rounded up. So it's all about, you're a man, we have to pick you up. if you don't have any identification that shows that you are formally employed or you're not likely to be part of the people that attacked the first 2 military men, that's it. You'll be part of the team.
So it looks like they were trying to wreak vengeance for their colleagues that were attacked. If this is also basically outside of the Constitution, basically, I mean, they're not allowed to do this kind of thing. What is it? Okay, were you going to say something?
Indeed. Even us that we went there, we also felt as if our rights were infringed, because they indeed were. As journalists, we go around carrying the stories, going to places where the normal Ghanaian would not go, just to bring it to them. And there was an incident that happened that really shook us, because we had gone at the Obom side where there were many of the military personnel.
How many exactly?
More than 100.
Wow.
I won't be surprised if that number would hit 200.
How did you feel seeing all these military men around?
Extremely intimidated, and they were armed to the teeth.
And did they understand the nature of the work that you were there to do? How did they react when they saw you guys?
They really didn't care about us. All they told us was that we should stay away. They're not going to give us any information. We shouldn't film. However, at a point in time, it was as simple as just like a spark. They saw us outside with our camera, because we had just gone to the building opposite them to do some filming. It had nothing to do about their deployment or anything. So when we went to that building, we were done and we were coming back. We got into our car, and then we realized that the MCE for Gassouth was coming to inspect what was going on. So at that point, we've been there for a long time. We hadn't got any interview. So immediately we saw the MCE coming. We felt there was a good chance we've got a civilian who is in power, who can speak to the issue. So we got out with our camera and our microphone. And then they just kept shouting, hey, you people have a camera, bring your phones. And these people had guns, and they started cocking their guns and coming at us, about 20 of them. And we were just about 4 or 5. They came to us, they took the camera, they deleted whatever footage they felt was incriminating for them. They took our phones, checked on it, made sure that we didn't have any videos, and it was very sad. It shouldn't happen to journalists. I think that as journalists, we do the nation's work, and so we need to be protected. But this is when security personnel are not protecting us. It's like the tool that we use to do our work is our camera. I wouldn't see a policeman and demand his rifle or his gun. So I don't see why you should see a journalist and ask him for his camera and actually delete whatever footage it was on it.
Would you describe what you experienced as abuse of power?
Definitely so. I think that the people of Domfase are being abused, or, I mean, they are powerless. No, I condemn what they did to the military personnel earlier. But I think that now they are really living in fear. And these are their homes, their livelihoods. Even the women who have been left in the homes right now, what happens when your food runs out? What happens when you don't have water? There's nobody to help you. You're just there alone.
Wow.
Thank you
Nema,
so
thank
much
you. Thank you
for being with us, and thank you for being so brave. I mean, what a traumatic experience that you guys went through yesterday, and we're glad to have you all back safely.
We thank God.
Yeah.
Thank you for staying with us. It's still Breakfast Daily on City TV. My name is Jifa Ekuya Amatam.
And I'm David Krekusechi.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on City TV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on City TV.